Now then, crew, and welcome back to the Andy Mechanic YouTube channel. Now we've got a Suzuki 500cc Kingquad here in the workshop. We're busy doing a series of videos on performing various tasks required to service this particular vehicle. Now, in this video, we're going to cover replacing the oil in the front differential. So let's take a quick look in the service manual, see what it has to say. Here we go. Used.
You don't paint something without wiping.
Honestly. Right, front differential gear oil replacement. It says here to replace the front differential gear oil every 2 years. Now this bike's only done 1,800 kilometers. Not too sure exactly how old it is, but we're going to replace the oil just to be on the safe side. It says place the vehicle on level ground. Well, it's on a hoist, so we're all good there. Remove the front undercover. Refer to undercover removal and installation in section 9D-12. So let's take a look at that. Right, this diagram shows all three sections of the undercover underbody sort of protection, the skid plates basically that the bike has. And to remove the front undercover, it says to remove the front 2 bolts and the fasteners marked by 2 and 3 on the diagram. Well, believe it or not, we've already taken that off to wash the bike, so that's already done for us. Perfect. Right, so next step, once that cover's out of the way, drain the front differential gear oil by removing the oil drain bung 1, obviously at the bottom, and oil filler plug and oil level plug. So we've got 3 plugs to remove. Wow, well that's number 1. Does it show us where the filler and the oil level plugs are? It doesn't on there. I think it does on the previous page. Let's have a look. Yes, there we go, look. So we've got the filler plug number 2 and the level plug number 1. Right, let's get all those taken out. So to make this a lot easier for me to film, and I've got new tyres to fit anyway, let's remove the front right hand wheel and then we can get in there real easy and you can see what's going on. Here we go. Right, filler bung first, 10mm Allen key. God, that's tight. Geez, sorry camera. There we go. Only just. But I'm pleased to wash this bike off. You could never do this as it was before. It was in a terrible state. Nearly. It's not easy working around the camera. There we go. That's the filler bung. And now for the level bung. It's pretty cool that it's got 2 separate ones. Makes it a lot easier filling them up to the right level. There we go. That's a long bolt. That's a very long bolt. Jeez. Look at that. Huge. Right, now the drain bung. We're going to need an oil catchment pan too. Now, whilst that oil's draining out, let's check the service manual to see what type of oil we should be using to put back in that front diff. And we can also look for a new drain plug washer as well, because we should be replacing that. Now, it says here in the Suzuki manual, It's going to hold about 460 millilitres of oil, and we should be using Hypod gear oil SAE 90 API grade GL5. I'll go and find some of that. If, however, you're using the bike in very cold temperatures, you can drop it down to SAE 80 API grade GL5. Right, I need some oil. Now, whilst we've got the old drain bolt out, it's got a little tiny magnet in the end. So we're going to take a really good close-up look at that and see how much shrapnel, iron filings, that kind of stuff, is stuck to that magnet. It's a good indication on the condition of the front diff. You know, are the teeth starting to wear out? Is there a bearing collapsing? That kind of thing. So what have we got in there? Oh yes, there's a few iron filings, isn't there? Look, remember this bike's only done 1,800 kilometers from new, so this is probably, you know, sort of the bedding in process. So I'll remove all those bits, make it nice and clean, and then if we see it next service and there's some more, you know, bits and pieces in there of metal filings, then we know that there's something going on. Right, let's get rid of the old washer, and we have a new one to go on. Perfect. As if by magic, nice and clean. Right, new washer on there. That can go back on the diff now, can't it? Right, so let's give it a quick wipe round. Super job. And the new bolt, well, the bolt with the new washer can go back in now, can't it? Right, we need a torque setting for that. Tightening torque, front differential gear oil drain plug is 32 Newton meters. Almost there. There we go. Now for refilling gear cases, differential cases, gearboxes, all that kind of stuff, I have a, what is it? It's a Stevens Instrument Company pressurized gear case filler. It's really good. It reminds me of a fire extinguisher, and I reckon you could probably make one out of an old fire extinguisher. Basically, you just pressurize it using the pump at the top, and then it forces the oil out through the nozzle. Just here, look. It's bloody cool, very controllable, and you don't waste any oil. Right, the final step, putting in the fresh oil. It says pour the oil in through the oil filler hole until it overflows from the oil level hole. We can do that. Here we go. Right, I've moved the drip tray a little bit just in case we do spill some. Sorry, camera. Here we go. Hey, don't do that. Right. We've got to slow down the flow rate a little bit. So what we're looking for is the oil coming out of the small lower hole. Which is not coming out yet. It should take about just under half a litre, it says. Could take a while. We're on about third throttle at the moment, otherwise it spits back. Oh, there we go, look. See it coming out? Perfect. That'll do. Right, let's stick that lower bolt in first. Not an easy task with the front guards in the way. Make sure we line those threads up. There we go, look. Now I reckon Suzuki's used a really long threaded bolt to stop people pulling the threads on these things. It might also be used for some kind of method of measuring the backlash as well when you're building these things up, just to stop the crown wheel from turning. Right, there'll be a torque setting for that, so we'll do that in a second. Let's get the filler put back on now, the filler cap. Okay, hopefully this one will stay on the end of the socket. There we go, look. Excellent. Right, let's go and find out some torque settings. Okay, tighten the oil level plug and oil filler plug 3 to torque specification, which is, oh there we go, look. Right, oil level plug is 8 Newton meters, that's the small one, and oil filler plug is 35 Newton meters, that's the big one. Okay, we're going in 8 Newton meters, not a lot, is it? That's it. That's all you get. Right. Where the torque wrench needed? 35 Newton meters. 20. 25. 30. 35. Perfect. $35 it is. So there you go, a short video on how to change the front differential oil on about a 2020 Suzuki Kingquad 500cc. What is it? AXI. It's one with the power steering. It's not a difficult job. In the video I've included some torque settings, quantities, 460 millilitres of oil you're going to need. So if you go and buy a ½ litre pack, that'll do enough for the front diff. Obviously we've still got the final drive to do. That's going to be the next video. If you enjoyed this video, why not click on the subscribe button? That way you're not going to miss any future videos. Don't forget to ring the bell so you get notifications. You'll also find me on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Feel free to communicate through any of those portals. You can email me directly if you like. My email address is down the bottom in the description. Now, if you want to support the channel, you can do that through Patreon, become a patron to the channel, or you can do it through PayPal. If through PayPal, it's the same email address, andymechanic@live.co.uk. Any donations are gratefully received because it helps us to make these videos. Okay, crew, well, until next time, cheers, over and out. And we get the flip again.
Oh!
Really?